Welcome back into the bus build part 2. So just finished work, so having a big cup of coffee, gonna need it to power through this. We're up to the next step. Obviously, if you watched the last thing, you'd have seen that the floor is all gone, all the grinding is done, but a tiny little bit about 30 centimeters long I missed over there. Get that done. Sorry neighbours. And then we're into just a little bit of wire wheeling on some of the little suspect areas that I mentioned in the previous video, and paint. We're going to start painting on some just rust proof paint. It's rust converter and primer paint all in one. It's not rusty, but I thought, hey, why not? I bought it before I ripped the floor up just to make sure. We'll get that laid down and on to the time lapse after this coffee. Alright, so the Fipper's the painter. She's actually was a professional painter. This is what I've been armed with. So I've got some Metal Shield Rust Defense, which says just needs a very light coat, scuff up the area and go. That's what I'm going to do. I'm unsupervised today, so hopefully I'm doing it right. I've got a small roller. Wish it was about half the width of that, but that'll get it done a heck of a lot easier than a paintbrush because I really don't like painting. But here's going. Hopefully the time lapse looks cool of me sort of buzzing around, and see you in a minute. Hey, a new shirt, a new day. It's the next day now. The GoPro was being absolutely painful with the time lapse, so hopefully that got at least some of me painting the floor here. But rust proofed the whole thing, so that's all done. Went on real easy. 2 coats. There's a couple of little. I can see in the camera there. There's a little tiny patchy bit, but to be honest, I went overboard. I painted things that I probably didn't need to paint, and but I did get all the key areas, and anything that had metal grinding or anything like that, wire wheeling, got like 2 or 3 coats, and thick coats of that, so it should be hopefully fine. Good news is once the floor's on, I'll never have to see it again. Today we're going to be focusing on an area that doesn't have much rust or anything like that. It's just it's very famous, and I've seen a lot of posts on the Facebook groups about rust in this area. So I thought, while I've got the floor out, before I put the tanks in, I've got room, I'm just going to go and treat the heck out of this area as well. It will look ugly with black paint, but it's not going to be seen from the outside, and at least I know back of my mind when I'm driving in a rainy weather in winter that this area is covered and I don't have to stress about it. So I'll show you what the area I'm talking about. So you'll see in here, so we're at the back of the bus looking up at the tail light and down at the ground. It's very famous for this sort of area here, and you'll see we've got some very, very light hang on, where am I? Very, very light dots here of rust. So I'm just going to sort of give this general area a bit of a coating. Up here looks perfectly fine. It's just this back area over here. You can see just some very light start. So I'm going to give this a bit of a wire wheel and a bit of a coat, and just not a massive effort into it, but just a little bit, just to make sure, as I said, future me doesn't have to worry about it. Let's get cracking. I didn't even know you were filming. Hello.
Just get you down there in the nitty gritty.
I'm where a water tank should be.
As long as you don't drip, we're fine.
There's actually next to nothing here, but yeah, better to be safe than sorry. Might be a little jank, but curved the heater hoses back to here, and then I've made a little bracket with a, just because it used to have 2 hoses going through this bracket, so now there's only 1. So a little zip tie just to hold it tight, and then a screw, nice stainless steel screw, seems to hold it fine. Hopefully that will never be a problem in the future.
Hi guys, these are the inside panels of the Kindy bus from Japan. Now they are the cutest little pictures. I mean, these kids are adorable. But there's little lollipops, there's music, there's t-shirts and bags. But I am concerned about what this one's doing. Not sure, I will leave you to decide. But she is smelling a flower, so, you know, make of it or what you will.
So these are the underfloor lights that look at the rear wheels. They're lit whenever the side door is open, whether the bus is on or not. Highly recommend unplugging them, removing them. It'll save a lot of battery issues for you. This is the FlexiSeal polyurethane sealant. I use many tubes of this. Basically anywhere the floor touch steel, especially where there's ever a hole, I put a heap of this down just to glue the wood to the steel frame. Then what I went through and did is obviously used a countersink bit. Every single hole I did use countersunk screws, but I found this made it sit a lot better and pull the wood to the frame really well, making for a much secure fit.
Tips and tricks time, just a little interlude. We're up the back of the bus doing this T-piece that sits here. Now this is 6mm, obviously 12mm up the back, and there's some pretty big divots here. Now in our bus there was 2. There was one of those, and there was one, I think factory it was here. But now by the looks of it, it's one of these little blocks here. This one came loose, the other one's stuck down. It looks to be about 18mm, which is luckily enough pretty much identical to a 12 and a 6. So a couple of these, glue them down there, which is going to make standing in this area a lot less squishy. Check it out, progress. So working slowly along the floor. Without a plan, it's been a bit rough, but we've now got all the way up to here. Sadly, we've figured out we're 1 sheet short of 12mm ply, but working on this bottom piece, which has, as you all know, has this wonderful thing sitting here. So good news is the Kindy bus did have a piece of wood covering this, and then it went up just there. So luckily enough, we actually have a template for this. So I do have this is the only bit I've got a template for, except the very back piece. So just about to cut that out, which will fill to this line here. Sorry, where's my hand? Yeah, there's my this line here, and go, and then we're going to have like a little angle cut here, and then straight across there. Then I've got to buy, sadly, a whole sheet just for this piece, and I've got enough to do the funky for that bit. Because obviously, that step actually might work out for us with our plan. So we're almost there. Touch base with you in a few. So that's the floor done. Fair bit of work, obviously cutting it out, rust proofing, making our own templates, getting that all done. And then obviously it took a few days of obviously painting coats of the undercoat for the floor. That delayed us a little bit, and also working full time sort of slows me down. But guess what? Floor is in. Even all the cool little cuts around the stairs and all that sort of stuff. Screwed, done. I can now stand over the big open areas and not fall through. It's a little bit of a squish, but I think that's a 12mm ply and sort of me on top of it. But floor is done, and you're getting a little sneak peek of the next episode. Floor done. Yay!